Welcome to the only racetrack that's ever existed in the entirety of mankind.
That's a lie on all levels.
In my mind, it's the truth, and my own truth is the only truth that exists. With me, as per usual, is Miodred War Crimes Milosevic.
Nothing has been proven.
Miodred technically War Crimes Milosevic.
Nothing has been proven.
And the man, the myth, the marsupial, Martin Edmonds.
Hello, everyone.
So, on a scale of 1 to erupting volcano, how jealous were you guys of the brisket pictures that came up on the weekend?
Oh my god.
Highly, highly jealous. I would say like a solid 9.
That seems fair.
Let's just say there was a high production of saliva that happened all at once when I saw the pictures.
Same thing at the actual dinner. A bunch of guys all threw in $20, and we got the biggest brisket they had at Costco, and it took a full 18 hours to cook.
Jesus Christ.
Hell yeah.
So we were at probably the second most famous street circuit in the world, Macau in China. This race is probably going to have a lot of carnage because it's Macau, and that's what it does. Because you can see how thin most of the track is, and that's a big, big part of why it's an absolute disaster. By the way, Martin, you once again forgot to turn the makes on. We got flags instead of makes.
You're a horrible person.
Not cool.
Uh-oh.
Carl Vega will start from pole, which at Macau is exceedingly important because overtakes here are very hard, very difficult. Mike Stockmill, Ellison Flazino, Hania Cart, Paul Riccobeni, and I'd say if we get a winner from anyone other than those 5, I will be stunned.
Well, let's see how much of a disaster or non-disaster this is going to be. Who knows?
Oh, we got a warm-up session here. Okay, so we get to shoot the time even more here. So this is the Intercontinental Series with the racers from the ESR community as well as other communities. We have a live commentary event coming up on the next round. Is that correct, Martin?
That is correct. Around 6.
Imola, right?
Yep.
So we get the live commentary of Imola, which is nice. I like Imola. It's a solid racetrack. I'm sure Byron would have preferred we got this one, though. Ooh.
Well, I mean, I was pushing for it, and then there was just nobody around to do it.
Well, we can do it live.
Well, we wouldn't have gotten the official live commentary.
Yes.
I am the official live commentary.
No, you're not.
Officially.
We're not doing this live.
Officially, unofficially, I am the live commentary. It's just that no one else can hear me do it in my head.
I mean, it's fair enough, I suppose. There is Mike Stockmill, the hero of ESR, joining the circuit in his Trofeo Motorsports 06.
What the fuck kind of car is that?
Corvette.
Gross.
It's a Chevy.
Disgusting.
It is the most popular car on the 3D Speed grid by a long shot this season as we were doing the Legacy GT3 thing.
I would think that the ultra reliable and robusto car, the Fiat, would be the preferred mobile.
No. Also not in the game. That would be a primary problem.
Well, that just wastes all of my sarcasm right there.
Indeed. Oh, Mike, what is Mike doing? He's like gone out of the pits, back into the pits, out of the pits, back into the pits again. I'm
gonna go with lag spike.
Could be. We know that there has been some lag spikes with this particular service beforehand. Obviously, we're coordinating a large geographical area for racers, so that is definitely part of the problem. Like Stockmill rejoining the track one. That is a cool shot, actually. I like that camera view.
Indeed.
Right up his nose.
The out of the pits camera view that we probably won't see for the entire race. So there is that.
How long is this race again?
6 feet.
Long, if I recall correctly.
I think it's 1 hour, right?
I believe it is 1 hour, yes. 1 hour of Macau. Which makes sense based on the length of the video that we were working with here. So, there is that.
It's actually 3 hours. Welcome to part 1.
Elson Flozino in the Audi R8 will start from P3. That is him in the orange and black there. Not sure who that is ahead of him. I think that might be Vlad Tatara, Ukrainian racer. Directly ahead of him in the Total liveried Audi. And behind them, I believe, is Travis Wallace in the Z06. Hey, I'm right. It is Vlad.
Good work. Oh, is Travis gonna finish this race?
I mean, that's the question. That's been the battle for Travis, and on a carnage-filled track, I'm gonna go with no. I'm just not gonna get my hopes up, and that way I'm not let down in any way when he crashes out.
There's only two ways this is going to go. Either Vlad is going to do very well, in which case I have one nickname, or he's going to harpoon somebody, in which case we're going to go with the obvious nickname. I don't think I need to spell that one out.
Not at all. Not at all.
In Soviet Russia, we call it Ukrainia.
Mm-hmm. That they do.
Does he become a blood-sucking monster?
I mean, possibly.
I mean, he doesn't have to. Is the no overtake rule in the hairpin in effect for this race, or
Indeed, indeed, it is
okay.
on.
That does mitigate the chances of an immediate pileup slightly.
Well, there is a yellow flag for everyone in this section.
Speaking of which, there is the hairpin.
Yeah.
The yellow flag?
I'm going to see Ford versus Ferrari next week, so that'll be fun. I will, on our next commentary run, I'm sure I'll have some thoughts and things to say about that movie.
Sounds good. I think I'm going to propose that for my father and I.
Sounds good.
My father being a mechanic and all.
Mm-hmm. Father Night at the Movies is something I have no real experience with, so there you go.
Well, I mean, that's because extraneous reasons.
Various reasons. Hey, there's like animated people inside the boxes of this this particular racetrack. That's slightly new.
You follow me, camera guy?
Follow me, camera guy. You're gonna love my nuts.
They're on the on the wheels, right there. Hold them on.
So it's a Mercedes starting from pole position.
You follow me, camera guy? You're gonna lug my nuts.
That's a good one. That's good. Mike Stoppmill will start on the front row, so I'm willing to bet significant money that either Carol Vega, the pole sitter, or Mike Stoppmill will take this race because it's Macau and overtaking is next to impossible.
Chicago!
So
anybody who hasn't seen Black Dynamite, please do that.
We are off towards
turn
God. 1, which is a minute. Oh, God! Travis Wallace has gotten problems.
Teleportation!
Oh, God.
There is some carnage at the back of the field, and it is in the lead. Carol Vega from Mike Stoppmill. They have... This is the problem, is that I don't have the make of the cars. It's going to hurt a little bit.
Sorry.
But Ellison
Can't you just look at the name tags?
Ellison Flozino's in third in the Audi, and the
Hani
Mercedes of Hani Hakarth is in fourth position. Mike Stoppmill looking to the inside, gets squeezed, but to be honest, wasn't really anywhere else.
Oh, God! Oh!
There's carnage. There is some serious carnage in the background, and I don't even know who's involved.
Listen, this is racing, not hopscotch.
Oh my God!
This is terrible. The damage.
I love it.
Cars. Anyways, the top. What do you say? Maybe like top 8 or so have gotten away.
Yeah,
relatively
looks like
clean.
Yeah.
No, it looks like 7 actually. It looks like Barcelos is not winning this group.
Can I make a
Back to
request?
Vlad Tatara.
Can I make a request for like the race request? Can we do trophy trucks on this track?
If we could find a game with trophy trucks, we might as well. I mean,
hell yeah!
If you're gonna, oh God!
Oh!
I think that was maybe that might have been some net code, to be honest, because Flozino's car didn't really react as if it got hit.
How would you pronounce the guy in fourth place last name right now? Go.
Alvar Gomez Cuesta.
Wrong. You're probably actually right. Yeah.
That actually is his last name. He's been in a couple of ESR races. Weird to see him up in fourth because he's usually racing like me. So He's either found a lot of pace in his absence from ESR, or he's just really good at Macau. I'm not really sure which is more likely.
Alphonse El Grande Queso Gomez Cuesta.
Paul Riccobeni up on the tail of Hani Hakarth, who had that scary moment with Ellison Flazino.
Nice car.
Indeed, yeah. So it's Mercedes from Corvette from 2 Audis, then a Mercedes again, a Corvette, and another Audi. So it seems like there are 3 cars worth being in at this particular moment, and that's about it.
And Paulo Ricardo Bongo was in 4th place and kind of got squeezed out there in the shenanigans.
Indeed, back in 6th now, and that's not a good place to be because it's hard to make overtakes on this track happen. This is the area where you have the most chance to get the overtakes because this is the widest part of the track.
The widest part of the track. So racist.
Widest.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, misheard.
As in Sean's mom.
I'm technically fat shaming, not racial.
That seems fair. That's just that's a health concern.
Paul Riccobeni and Vlad Tatara. Yeah, no, I think it's Tatara went down the inside of him, and Paul was trying to come back at him. That's what that was.
Paul with the flaming oiler car.
Indeed, the Kissling Racing.
The oil fire.
Flaming Paul.
We call it the Flaming Paul.
I call it the oil fire paint scheme.
It's really just cough syrup, but yeah.
So Travis is already out.
Hey, Simpsons fans will get that reference. The Flaming Paul.
Flaming Mo, man.
Flaming Mo.
Mr. Mo, that's my name. No, that's not.
So the top 3 have more or less gotten away. It's Vegas, Stockmill, and Flazino, and then it's Gomez, Cuesta, Hakarth, Tatar, and Riccobeni.
Nudgy.
Paul's doing his best to get in.
I think he's got the job done now.
Yes.
Tatar dropping back about a half second. So.
Nothing wrong with the little bump and grind.
Drive-through
penalty for Christoph Verstappen. Who's down at 17th anyway.
That dude has had shit luck for the last 3 weeks.
Travis Wallace, by the way, is already lapped down, so I assume he is out of the race.
Oh no, he's out. He left out at the starting line.
He didn't get left at the starting line. He was moving. It's just I think his internet gave out shortly after.
I miss doing commentary with Travis. It's a lot of fun.
Indeed. We miss you, Travis.
Travis, come back to me.
Come back to us.
Travis, come back.
We'll totally overlook the obvious anger problems.
Travis, come back. You can blame it all on Martin.
You can blame it all on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
He was wrong.
Let's see here. Anyone give you a quick update on the ESR entries? Mike Stockmill in 2nd place. Paul Riccobeni in 6th. Stephen Cross in 10th. Verstappen 17th, and I think that's the Simeon Naku 16th. I think that's the entire ESR crew for this particular event.
What about Yuri Alcantara?
He's not here.
Oh, well, that seems like exclusionary practices.
Stephen Cross making a move into 9th place there on, I don't know the first name, but the last name is Maria Torres.
It was, crap. No, I'm not even going to try. I can see part of it in my brain, and it's a little hard to pronounce, and it starts with a J, which you already knew. It's like Ying Tao or... no, that's not right at all.
Joaquin?
Damn. No, it's not even. It's like J-A something. There's a weird, NTC thing going on in there. It's not. It ain't Anglo-Saxon.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Hopefully we get a close-up of the car at some point, and we can horribly butcher the name.
It was on the roster list before the race, and I took a brief look at it and tried to store it in my brain, and that did not work.
Yeah, I generally recognize most people, but every so often we get a newbie, and I am at a loss to describe who they are.
Mike Stockmill racing for Torpedo Motorsports. Hell yeah, brother.
So what's the last name that we're trying to find out the first name?
Maria Torres.
See.
Fine. So it's Jose.
Is that Jose? Okay, so now I'm thinking of a guy in 13th place. Then.
Jose Maria Torres.
See, the guy in 13th place, that's the guy with the first name I couldn't remember.
Patricio.
See.
So the top 5 are staying more or less within shot of each other. This is Vega back to Karth. Riccobeni and Tatara have now more or less fallen off the back of this by a considerable margin. They're more or less on their own in 6th and 7th. Leo Barcel. Not really much else happening throughout the grid, actually. Patricio and Orlando Telhero are having a squab over 13th, but that's about it. And Telhero just jumped up to 12th, so problems for Patricio and problems for DeGomes. Dropped way back. And have actually now lost a spot to Gallardo as well, so problems there. And they are they are moving now. The gaps have somewhat stabilized.
What if we got Jose Maria Torres and Javier Perez Torres on either the same team or to start a blood feud?
I would go with the blood feud person.
That might be entertaining.
Indeed. Ani Hikarth putting the pressure on Alvaro Gomez Cuesta. I think Hikarth is definitively the faster driver, but this is Macau, and that doesn't matter.
Yep.
I mean, there is presumably a pit stop at some point, so maybe that'll be the chance. But right now, it's just keep it out of the wall, frankly. And they are failing that because I'm seeing contact with the wall.
So Patricio's first name is Jacinto.
Yeah, there you go.
Jacinto.
Jacinto. Said there was some weird like NTC stuff going on in there.
I think the only other ones I don't know are DeGomes and Gallardo.
Can you prove that that is
and
not De Gomez?
And Barthez. I mean, it could be De Gomez as well.
Luis de Gomez? I thought we knew him.
Do we? I don't recall him.
Real name, actually, Frank.
Somebody was off there in a pile up, and I think that was Luis de Gomez, who was dropped back to 16th position.
It's weird that the layout here would put Mario Torres in one word, and the same with de Gomez.
Vlad Tatara got real physical there with Paul Riccobeni and got the spot. Was that in the hairpin? We're not allowed to overtake it?
I don't know. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking.
Paul might have some grounds for a complaint there.
Get him, Paul.
Interesting.
Mike Stockmill on the tail of race leader Cataldo Vega. This is, of course, a little contact with the wall there. And Flazino has dropped off the back of them, and also way off the back of them now is Cuesta and Hikar, so I think maybe they were the ones that were in the wall there that we quickly saw, and then just because they're now 18 seconds behind this battle, and they were in the same shot last time we looked. Paul Riccobeni on the tail of Vlad Tatara.
Vlad, who tried to impale him.
So we suspect that maybe Vlad may have played a little dirty pool to get that position, but they've got Leo Barcelos behind them, so that should be interesting. Barcelos is definitely damaged. That front end does not look healthy.
But the only real question is, what does Barcelos Wallace look like?
I mean, I don't have an answer to that question.
Well, just imagine it. Everybody picture it in your mind.
I'm going to imagine he looks like Vitor Belfort.
Okay, but dad bod Vitor or juice to the tits?
Definitely dad bod Vitor.
Definitely,
No one looks like juice to the tits Vitor without basically ceasing to be human.
That guy's been on so many steroids. Like, I'm not sure how that guy's alive, because he's been on steroids since he was like 15.
Easily. I love the hype videos they used to run of him. He's been fighting men since he was about 15 years old. I'm like, yeah, he's been on the juice since 15.
He's been on fucking donkey extract since he was 15 years old. His dad probably gave it to him for his birthday.
Maybe. Happy birthday, son. We got the donkey for you.
Have us some donkey juice.
Now go beat these men.
Yeah.
I mean, at various points in his career, has been the number 2 guy in his weight class. So there is that to be said. Never number 1 though. Never.
Well, not on an official ranking, but let's be real. When that dude hit the scene, and was it like UFC like 15 or something like that?
Yeah, but the first UFC he fought, and he lost to Couture in the finals of the tournament.
Yeah, but the opening rounds of the tournament, didn't he like terminate a guy with?
Oh yeah,
under,
he destroyed the first 2 dudes he fought.
Yeah.
Like, and then as soon as he fought old man strength Randy Couture, things didn't go well.
Yeah, it's like, oh, guess what? I'm not impressed.
This was when we thought Randy Couture at 37 years old was old. Little did we know we had a decade ahead of us still.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the old man on him.
I'm trying to think of like what is Vitor's most impressive victory like in his entire career. Like, is it Rich Franklin? Is that really the height of it?
I'll look it up. I'll see.
And Stop Mill is following Vega turn for turn. Looks like he's probably the faster guy, but again, this is Macau, and that doesn't matter. Hani Hikarth is on the tail of Alvar. Oh, God! And there goes his front end, which, again, this is Macau, so that doesn't actually matter.
That was such a quick little move, and then, boom, your race is done.
It's not done. This is Macau. This just means everyone's going to get stuck behind him.
Yeah.
I see what it is. You make me try and look up somebody's record and then distract me from the carnage.
It wasn't the greatest of carnage, to be honest.
Fair enough. Let's see. Best win on his record. He choked out Anthony Johnson.
That's not impressive. That was when Anthony Johnson almost died on the fucking scales.
Oh, yeah. He's beat Dan Henderson twice.
You know, I completely forgot he had beaten Dan Henderson. Yep.
Matt Lindland?
Henderson over Lindland. Easy.
Yeah, he did. So he lost to Henderson, and then after that he beat him like in the next 2 fights they had. Which was years later. Many years. This is almost not quite a decade later.
Yeah, there's been a long time between those. Those are 2 guys who have fought through multiple generations of mixed martial arts fighters.
Yeah. For instance, he knocked out Henderson in the last 2 fights they had, which Henderson plus knockouts equals not. So, yeah, that's at the very end of Henderson should not be fighting, but fought on anyway.
I think actually, was that not before Henderson captured the Pride title, actually?
Well, he lost to Henderson in 2006.
Oh, yeah, but the later on ones, like, that's what... yeah, I guess you're right. That'd be like, what, 2000?
He fought Henderson again in 2013 and 2015.
I think the 13 one's probably a fairly legit win. I think Henderson still had something to go at that point. But 15, yeah, that does seem a bit late. Oh! Yeah. We got contact. Vlad Tatara, Hani Hikarth, Paul Riccobeni. Riccobeni doing all kinds of weird shit here. What the fuck?
Get him, Paul!
He has taken 5th place from Tatara, and they're both past Hikarth, who, of course, has no front end.
Yeah, it's based on your own personal preferences, I guess. Matt Lindland or Dan Henderson. Rich Franklin or Dan Henderson.
Yeah, the Franklin win was also pretty late in Franklin's career.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold spinning back heel hook.
That was pretty damn cool, but unfortunately we figured out that Luke Rockhold is actually not hard to knock out.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping says hi.
I got you right here. Your best win in his entire career, Terry Martin.
No. I'm even gonna dignify that with an argument. Just
that's a solid no.
That's a hard no. Man's got to win over Heath Herring, and you're gonna bring out Terry Martin?
Yeah, that was basically my ploy. Beat Ivan Sarati, James Zikic.
James Zikic was actually probably one of the better guys to never really get a shake in the UFC, to be honest.
Kazuo Takahashi.
Bit of a Jesus freak, but yeah.
Well, that's probably why he didn't get a fair shake, because insert cultural bias here.
No, there's plenty of Jesus freaks in the UFC. Diego Sanchez.
Hey, cut that boy.
You know what?
I got to beat. Best win in Vitor Belfort's career. Daijiro Matsui.
No. No. In fairness, if they do Sanchez versus Demi and Maia, which both of them seem to want, I'm fine with that.
Oh. Vega just gave it to Stoffmill.
Yeah, that was interesting. And
They just trading the lead?
Leo Barcelos is up on the tail of Hani. Well, this is the first time they traded it, so we'll
Well,
find
I'm saying,
out.
like, yeah, but we're only a little over 15 minutes into the race. Are they going to just keep trading the lead to save on fuel and tires to,
That's
shake and bake, slingshot?
It's not a bad idea, I guess, if you want to go with that. Put on a show for the people.
I mean, that's about as good as Vitor Belfort versus Bobby Southworth.
Oh God. Bobby Southworth. We remember you as a worse fighter than you actually were. In fairness,
that's true.
Was Ricard Tasson front bumper there?
Yeah.
Falling back.
I mean, he is losing spots, which I honestly thought he was going to be able to hold people up a lot better because this is Macau.
Yeah, but there's a couple spots if you can't keep up the speed, you're gonna get overtaken.
Carl Vega's now slipped to a second back of Mike Stoffmill, so I don't think we have any kind of swapping going on.
Spit or otherwise.
And Martin, your mic was wide open.
You disgusting hobo.
Pardon me?
Carl Vega still in second place. This is the aforementioned no pass zone that we were talking about before. And Stephen Cross is up on the tail of the slightly damaged, but seemingly running perfectly fine despite the damage, Leo Barcelos. Also, I think like half the top 10 are now carrying damage, which is, just beautiful. Because I know Alvar Gomez Quest is carrying damage. We know Leo Barcelos is. We know Hani Akarth is. We've not seen Barthez the whole race, so I have no idea what shape that car is in. Although if that is... No, that's Akarth behind him, so that's not Barthez. Okay. Yeah. So Stephen Cross, your car is healthy. You may yet be able to make some overtakes happen, my friend. Very fast driver from Travis Wallace's racing team.
Nine Scheiße.
Yeah, the Scheiße boys.
Disgusting.
And there is Carlo Vega, who is getting dropped really like a stone. Like, Stoppbill is just putting the boots to him. Racing off into the distance, into the sunset, like he's Zorro.
Like he's Mike Stoffmill.
Like he's Mike Stoffmill or Zorro.
All right, Mike, I got the ultimate fight nerd trivia question, and if you get this right, I'm gonna be super-de-dupe impressed.
Hit me.
The only man to ever finish Sam the Alaskan Assassin Hoger.
Sam Hoger, you say?
Indeed, I does.
You was?
Just trying to remember who fought Sam Hoger at this point.
That's why I made it a very impressive challenge.
Wait a minute. Was it in the IFL?
It was.
Brendan White.
You are stupendously correct. Fantastic. Well done.
I remember that fight.
Nerd.
I remember that fight. It was terrible.
You colossal nerd, you. Well played.
It was so bad that I remember it.
That's fair. I can't really blame that on anything.
It's also the answer to like almost all MMA trivia questions about like random dudes who have never been finished but have been finished by one fucking dude, and it's almost always Vernon White.
Yeah, that's really weird. Vernon the Tiger White.
Vernon White, capable of losing to any fighter on the planet, but also capable of pulling out every victory you never thought he would.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
I remember when people were talking about him versus Chuck Liddell as a gimme fight, and I'm like, there's no such thing as a Vernon Tiger White.
I mean, you're probably not wrong, but
I mean, yeah, Liddell dispatched him with ease, but never consider Vernon White a gimme.
I mean, to put this in perspective, he has a loss to Boss Rutan, but a win over Minoru Suzuki.
Mm-hmm.
And beat Brian Gasaway, which is not a thing that's hard.
Especially with the size disadvantage. Gasaway's like a fucking welterweight.
And crippled David Terrell for life, but then who didn't?
David Terrell crippled David Terrell, let's be honest.
David Terrell was crippled.
Just was
End of
bored
statement.
crippled.
David Born Out of Glass Terrell.
I remember when he officially announced his retirement. I'm like, yeah, you haven't fought in 6 years. Good on that.
Yeah, we're not surprised. It was like he was the prototype for commentary, but fights good.
Dominic Cruz.
Dominic Cruz, there you go. But that's not all Dominic Cruz's fault.
Well, I mean, it wasn't all David Terrell's fault.
I mean, it totally was.
Dude was born made of glass. He can't help that.
Yeah.
In the meantime,
he had
Stephen
some
Cross
bad
is
medical
hunting
advice.
down Leo Barcelo.
Yeah.
Nice. Big comeback.
Indeed, Steve. Oh, he's got it
there we
done.
go.
He's got it done. Stephen Cross up into 7th position. I think Barcelos may have given him that one. You can see that Barcelos' front end is very damaged, so he's probably fighting with the car more than fighting with other racers at this point.
As we can see right there, he's hitting a lot of walls.
Hitting every wall in sight. Orlando Teljero's up into the top 10. That's just basically overtaking Hania Karth, though. The Karth's back down to 17th, and I believe it looks like he's given up and joined Christoph Verstappen and Travis Wallace on the sidelines there. So we are down to 15 cars remaining, with Patricio very off the pace, 143 back. Has he done a pit stop, maybe? Or is he just that beat up? I don't know. The Porsche up ahead is Barthez, so we've got the answer to his car, and it looks like it's relatively intact. So there we go.
That's still impressive. Only 3 cars dead so far. Pretty good.
So far. We got over half a race to go.
Exactly.
Teljero getting very wide into there. I hope he didn't damage himself there. In the meantime, we're back with Leo Barcelos, who we were talking about earlier, with that damage to his front end. His bonnet has seen better days. He's now chasing Stephen Cross.
He seemed very unstable.
I would imagine so.
So do
AMG is a very powerful car to begin with that can get a little unstable, and with that, I imagine compromised front end grip. Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
All right. I've got 2 Vernon White trivia questions for you.
Hit me.
Who was Vernon White's only UFC opponent?
Chuck Liddell.
Correct. Did Vernon White fight Jason Guida, true or false?
Did he fight Jason Guida? I mean, my immediate thought
Your inclination is to say yes.
My inclination is to say yes, but that also means that you would not have asked the question if he had. So I'm going to go with no.
You are incorrect. Ha! I have bamboozled you.
I've been bamboozled.
He totally fought Jason Guida.
Did he beat Jason Guida?
He did! TKO, Doctor Stoppage, WEC 18, 2006, in Lemoore, California, USA. Thank you, Wikipedia. Can you name?
Paul, Rick, and Benny just got back to us to say that he would be interested in commentary, but we've already started, so too
well,
bad.
there you go.
You missed out on all the
Paulo.
you missed out on the Macau plus Vernon Tiger White fun.
Oh, we
Correct.
do have the DTM 92 after if you want. It's missing
is true.
5 minutes of the first race.
How dare you miss 1/3 of the first race?
Correct.
Yeah, I should have pinged you.
Oh, I thought I had a good trivia Vernon Tiger White question, but All right, so
I was at soccer.
I might have one more Vernon White question, but
Okay.
are we counting UFC titles after the established weight divisions or before?
In what sense?
Like for title holders?
After weight classes, because
Okay.
I'm not gonna fucking remember before.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, you might remember. It could go either way. Can you name the one UFC champion who fought him outside of the UFC
Okay.
and did kick his ass?
Did kick his ass. Well, Boss Rutten beat him. So,
Oh fuck yeah! No, that was heavyweight. Okay, I fucked that up. So you get a free extra. I'll give you 2 extra guesses.
we lost to Frank Shamrock.
Correct, but that was before like real weight classes were a thing.
True.
That was the trick.
Lyoto Machida.
Correct, you giant nerd.
No, I remember that from the dude. That's WFA card. Those that was like when they were talking about WFA as the UFC's rival. Like, I
don't remember that being a thing.
I remember that card. It was headlined by Linlin and Rampage.
Oh yeah, damn, I remember that.
Boss Rutan was on that card.
I watched that card and I don't remember that being a thing. Wow. I definitely 100% remember very vividly the Boss Rutan Ruben Villarreal fight because he literally, and I'm using that in a very real sense, literally kicked the shit out of Ruben Villarreal. That man quit so fast after
He
that
did.
many leg kicks.
It wasn't even that many. It was like a half dozen.
And Jason Mayhem Miller choked out Loden the Vanilla Gorilla Sincade.
Ah, yes. Loden Sincade.
Ivan Saliveri punched the shit out of Art Santor.
Art Santor was a good journeyman. He's the kind of guy that every middleweight from that era has a win over, basically.
And Ricardo Rodriguez, the Big Tuna.
The Big Tuna.
Defeated Ron the Waterboy Waterman via TKO Doctor Stoppage.
H2O Ron Waterman.
Razor Rob McCullough.
Simultaneously super hyped and simultaneously never beat anyone worth a damn.
Correct. Razor Rob McCullough, you did Harris Sarmiento. And Marvin the Beast Man Eastman had a draw with Jorge Oliveira.
Weird. One would think Eastman would have either beaten Oliveira or got tapped.
One would have assumed, or just got straight knocked out or cut.
Oliveira has no real knockout power, so not really.
It might not be the Jorge Oliveira you think of, because this guy has no Wikipedia page.
Oh. That's even more depressing.
But can you name the only other UFC fighter on that card that I haven't already listed? Super Nerd.
Who am I? Who do I have a feeling?
You're never gonna get this one.
Are you really sure I'm never gonna get this one?
I'm 90% sure.
I feel like because I remember that card. I'm going through the card in my head, trying to figure it out.
And by in his head, he means Google.
No.
Nope.
I would never Google this.
I know.
I don't need to. Wait a minute. What year was the WFA card? Give me that. Give me that hint.
2006.
2006. Okay. So that was like 1 year before the debut of certain Danish kickboxer Martin Kampmann.
Such an asshole. And correct. Martin the Hitman Kampmann. Man, I miss that guy.
I miss that guy. He's actually the head coach in a school up here in Canada now.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That seems like the best school you could ever go to then.
I know. I'm very tempted to go check that out.
Martin the Hitman Kampmann gave 0 fucks and beat virtually everybody.
Pretty much.
He got fucked by the Jake Shields fight. That was bullshit.
Yeah, I mean it was, but that was the state of judging back in the day, let's be honest.
I forgot he fought Nate Marquardt. Why? How did he get down to that weight class? Jesus, Marquardt. No,
this was when Kampmann was fighting 185.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Kampmann was a 185er when he came in and fought Talis Latus, and he fought at 185 for quite a while, actually, in the UFC.
Yeah, that's true.
And Marquardt actually has fought at 170. He's a former Strikeforce 170 champion when he beat Tyrone Woodley.
Well, that's what I assumed. Like, I knew Marquardt could get down to 170. I just figured it was because of, like, massive diuretics and IV fluid.
I don't know. He seemed to fight reasonably well at 170, so I think, some people just can cut the weight. Like, weight cutting is like, it's a science, but sometimes it's just fuck knows. In the meantime, Orlando Telhero is catching up to Mr. Barthez, whose first name I am unaware of.
Good job on that one.
And this is the section of the track where he gets overtakes. So, the South Americans don't like it when we go down the rabbit hole. So let's get back to the race for a little bit and cover this as we go through. Although you would think the Brazilians would appreciate some mixed martial arts style. Speaking of Brazilians, no Nelson Sheik today. He's missing from the field.
So Mr. Barthez is a Roman.
Roman Barthez under pressure from Orlando Telhero. Oh, contact.
Uh-oh.
That was a Red Bull liveried car. If that helps us figure out who that was.
Could be Naku and Gallardo, it seems.
I believe... No, I think it was Naku and De Gomes, actually. Maybe?
De Gomes is way too far back from Naku. They just traded spot.
Yeah, but De Gomes was losing a lot of ground to Patricio, which to me suggested he was in the wall. So perhaps that's a separate incident, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Simeon Naku seems like most likely to have been involved in that. He is sporting the Red Bull Corvette livery.
That was him.
Stephen Cross has caught up to Leo Barcelos, who does appear to be letting anyone with any real speed through at this point. Also, if we lost somebody... We did. We lost Emerson Flazino is out of the race. He was in third. Dang. He's not there now. So that is the fourth car to fall, and we are down to 14 remaining in the race. Although I would suggest that Mr. Flazino appears to have been the victim of more likely some kind of technical difficulty than being befelled. Simeon Naku's up to 11th, despite being in the wall.
So the DNF have Travis Wallace, Ricard, Flosino, and Diaz. Does that make any sense?
Maybe we lost Diaz right at the start.
Anderson Diaz.
Yeah, I don't remember him, but that may have been right at the start in one of those pileups or possibly an internet failure.
Yes.
So Orlando Telhero up to 9th with Flazino's retirement and is on the tail of Roman Barthez. I think he'll get him. Telhero's shown very good ability to attack, and I think he's got the faster car here against Barthez, who I think may have been artificially promoted to this 8th place by some carnage. Although he's doing a good job. Like, it's not like he's losing tremendous ground to Telhero, but every time they kind of go past that start-finish line, it's getting tighter and tighter. It's down to 0.6 of a second, though. I think Telhero will get this done at some point. Also, that AMG's got a huge straight line speed. So
lost control there. Oh, no.
No, he's covered. He's fine.
Yeah, solid.
Lost about 0.4 of a second, though. So, little mistakes will punish you. I'm not really sure why he'd be pushing too hard, to be honest, because, he's... Well, I mean, I guess he could catch up to Barcelos if he gets through on Barthez, because Barcelos, we know, is kind of... Well, we don't know, but the way he's handled cars coming up on him suggests that he's kind of letting people through once they get close. He realizes his car is damaged, and he's just trying to drag her to the finish line to bank a result. He has, in my opinion, let Stephen Cross through, let Paul Riccobeni through, let Vlad Tatara through a little bit. And so these guys will be next on that list.
Barthez is still making small little mistakes. Oof, that was close.
Yeah, we're right back to that half-second gap back to Telhero, although it spread out a little bit there, but about 0.6 of a second. Problem is, you can see there's nowhere to pass in this section of the track, so just stay close and get ready for this part of the track where things widen up.
Let's see if we can make it happen now. Seems to be
I don't think it'll be this time.
Enough.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be this time. 0.6 is too much. But if he can follow Barthez effectively through the twisty bits, I think next lap he'll have a play. Because even with the mistake he made earlier, where he lost about 0.4 of a second, he still has shrunk this gap by about 0.2.
Oh.
So he's probably around a half second to 0.6 faster a lap than Barthez.
I'm getting pretty close here. Let's see.
Indeed. Can he get the job done? Barthez goes defensive.
Oh, come
and we
on.
cut to Paul Riccobeni for some reason.
Hey, Paul, what's up?
Barthez appears to have held off Telhero for the time being, but they are within within 0.2 of each other briefly.
There we go.
There it is. We're back to the fight that matters. Orlando Telhero on the tail of Roman Barthez, the Argentine.
So I'd like to.
Contact. I don't think he can get past that. There's just not enough room.
Yeah. So when you say the word carnage, usually Byron's ears goes up a little bit.
That's true.
Indeed.
It's
But
one
it can
of
be
it's,
overblown.
It's one of his trigger words.
Giggity.
I'll let everyone in another secret. There's one greater than carnage, and it's Imanari.
Whoa! The butt scoot! The 10th
Imanari
Dan of
roll.
butt scoot. Mr. Imanari himself. There's one
Nice.
even better than that, though.
Every week I'm treating myself to the dude trying to do the Imanari roll to Imanari, and the look on his face that just says, "Oh, I see how it is. You don't remember who I am."
I'm sorry, you must have forgot.
Let me remind you, I'm taking this leg out.
I want to counter Imanari. Like, somebody
Oh.
goes for the Imanari roll and you invert it and, like, fucking spin cycle the shit out of him until he quits.
That would be interesting. I mean, that kind of is how Nick Diaz finished off Drew Fickett, actually, in their UFC.
That and weed.
I think it's happening now for this.
I don't know. He's only about
Tell Hero.
2/10. He's only about 2/10 closer. I don't think he's got it. I mean, I think it's gonna happen. We got 22 minutes left, basically. I think he'll get it done. He's got 11 laps to get it done, but I don't think it's this lap.
I think it's happening now.
Okay, well, let's find out here. This is the area that
Camera's
it's going
going
to
for
happen. We're on board with Orlando Telhero. He goes to the outside of Roman Barthez. Barthez going defensive. Barthez holds it. They go a little bit into the wall, but he still might get it. But
man.
Barthez has got the inside line. This might save him. And,
God, and he's pushing it.
little squeeze.
Oh.
Works out for Barthez, but I don't know if the stewards will take a dim view on that defensive maneuver.
Wow.
Impressive
A little
nerve
bit
by
of
both
hot
drivers,
Latin
though.
blood going here.
I mean, that is how they race.
Indeed.
So Barthez hangs out for now. Is there any other battles, like, just kind of looking through? Nah, no one is really close to anyone. So, like, this is not only just the best battle on the field right now, it is the only battle on the field.
Well, when it's over, you guys can get back to UFC.
I mean, it is the.
I
preferred mode of transport.
think we will see a battle between Paul Riccobeni and Alvar Gomez Cuesta for that last podium spot. Paul's been taking about 2 to 3 tenths out of lap, pretty consistently. It is not to the point where we're terribly interested yet. It's only about 2.3 seconds apart still.
Well, these two, that's going to happen again very soon.
I think so. Telhero's able to stick with him through the twisty bits, which is where you would think the Porsche would have an advantage.
It does have acceleration.
And I mean, that's just setting him up to probably get overtaken. Like, this is the lap I think it'll happen as they head through the hairpin there. He is, well, maybe not now. He got a bit of a bad run through the hairpin there.
Yeah, that hairpin always kills him.
Yeah, but this one killed him more so than usual. Now he's almost a full second back now. Like, he's not gonna have a play here. Because we've seen Barthez repulse his efforts from 0.6 back and 0.4 back. I can't believe that 0.8 is going to be a magical number.
Yeah. Well, who knows? He might get a very good draft from that position.
I mean, he's getting a great draft every time. Like, he's making up the ground, and I think he'll even have a play here. Like, I think he'll go for it. I just don't think he's going to get it.
Just don't try side by side. Stay in the draft.
Barthez is moving enough that that's not
There we
becoming
go.
that's kind of a problem. Barthez goes defensive into this corner. This is where the big overtake attempt was happening before.
they're
Telhero
pushing each
getting a
other
little.
now.
I kind of got to go with defend Barthez on that one. Telhero is heading into him this time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's giving it to him.
And Telhero,
Oh, he's slowed down.
I think the red mist has deployed, and there's the headlights.
Oh yeah, give it to me, baby. Daddy likes.
Orlando Telhero is seething in that car. I mean, I'm not in there with you, but I can tell you there's a lot of red going on right now. There's some cursing. There may be some insults being thrown about the, fidelity of Mr. Roman Barthez's mother at this point.
You go and bring out the machete.
You can hear Jaws lines there. The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
But I mean, this is what I say when I mean that overtaking is exceedingly difficult. This is Macau. There is not a lot of places you can make it happen.
Oh!
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Go, go, go,
Orlando
go.
Telhero is through.
Go, baby, go! They can't get you if they can't penalize you if you go fast enough.
Well, no, it wouldn't even be a penalty anyways. Barthez took himself out there. Like that was not Telhero's fault.
Barthez.
Not saying that there isn't anything worthy of a penalty in that entire fight, because there probably is. But and the man who really benefited off of this whole fight is Leo Barcelos, who's now 10 seconds up the road from Orlando Telhero. And there is Stephen Cross in P6. He's about 3 seconds behind Vlad Tatara there for 5th place. There is Carol Vega. That is, I think, lapped traffic between him and Mike Stockmill. It is a Porsche. I don't know beyond that who it is.
And it's hurting.
It could be Patricio. It could be Gallardo. It could be De Gomez. And getting around the blue flags nice successfully there is Carol Vega, who is, you know what? He's kept up with Stockmill to a degree, but 3 seconds back.
Yeah, I thought they would legitimately be using each other as drafting buddies, but that seems to be not the case. Either Kirill cannot keep up with Stockmill on a legitimate basis, or Stockmill's so good at this track that that's just not a factor, or I don't know what I don't think I have a third option on that one.
My theory would be is that as much as Carol can on a lap to lap basis keep up with Stockmill, he did outqualify him. He did take pole by about 0.3 of a second, so he definitely has the pace. Carol, in my experience, is a little bit more deviant than Mike Stockmill in terms of
sexually or otherwise.
Racing wise, I don't comment on the sexual part, but basically what I'm getting at is Mike Stockmill is not only really, really fast, he's also really, really consistent. Like, there are minimal mistakes, minimal miscalculations, very much knows where he wants to brake, knows where he wants to turn in, knows where he wants to get back on the throttle, and I just don't think that there's anyone that I have raced with that can match that.
What about a robot?
I am tempted to get if he would do Raceroom, because he doesn't really like Raceroom, but my buddy Matthias versus Stockmill would be intriguing. He does do a Assetto Corsa Competizione, so maybe I can get that to happen there.
Ooh, that sounds like a Sunday thing.
Because Matthias, whose last name is Viljakainen, which Byron will be able to tell you a thing or two about that last name.
Yeah, it's Peruvian.
It's Finnish.
All right.
And he has the typical Finn speed. This also might be why Paul's been chopping at the bit to get back to Alvaro Gomez Cuesta. Alvaro's got a very fucked up front end there. He is the Audi at the front of this shot. The Corvette on the hunt in the oil spill livery is Paul Riccobeni. Oil fire, oil spill.
The oil fire.
Random
They call it the Kuwait special.
You're gonna make it faster by putting flames on it because this is orc logic.
Yeah, hell yeah! It's got orange, which is pretty close to red, which means you go faster.
Indeed.
More racing stripe.
Yeah, that's what we need. Racing stripes
thing.
made out of flames. That's what happens.
That would be intriguing.
That would be the best. I need that. So lottery. When I win the lottery on Saturday, you guys, I'm gonna buy a random shit car and take it into the body shop or paint shop and say, listen, I need racing stripes, but they need to be like Cholo racing stripes. You know what I'm saying?
I need some painting of brisket.
I need a brisket on the left rear fender.
The meat machine.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions, and give me some ribs on the doors.
Mm-hmm. Ribs just below the door handle, so you're like not sure if you want to open the car or not.
It's a living thing. It's my baby. And we got a couple of guys that are catching. Like Stephen Cross is catching up to Tatar, as you can see really quickly. Paul Riccobeni, I thought, was going to make a play on Alvaro Gomez Cuesta, but that gap is seemingly stabilized at about 2.3 to 2.6 seconds. I say that, and it goes below 2 seconds briefly. So maybe there's something there. And Orlando Telhero is very rapidly catching Leo Barcelos, but I don't think he has enough time. And we saw with his battle with Roman Barthez that an overtake can be a timely consuming thing on this track. So at this point, Leo Barcelos' best buddy in the world was Roman Barthez, who held up Orlando Telhero for probably longer than he should have been able to, if we're being honest.
Come on, Stefan. Take him out. Vladislav.
Baby, don't hurt me.
I don't think we'll see anything in terms of an overtake for a good 2 laps between these two. I think he's catching him, but he has not caught him yet. So while these battles develop, let's talk about what's coming up in the ESR. We got 3D Speed next week from Silverstone, round 2 of the championship. I'd like to welcome to the grid Brandon Powell, Dave Bach, and I think that was his name. I might have just completely messed that up.
It's either Dave or Dan.
Dan Bach, yes. And Ayrton Tobin, who are forming up a team to join the series around late. So that's nice.
Excellent.
And we've also got no Aquilas this week, right? Or do we have Aquilas this week?
Yeah, we do have an Aquila this week. It's the Enduro round at Session Ring.
Yeah, that's going to be horrifying.
Looking forward to it.
That's a good word for it.
So that's going to be fun. Get ready for that.
And don't forget, we have Friday night Mini Cup and Diesel mod. Pretty fun drive.
And in the meantime, Stephen Cross has gotten right onto Vlad Tatar's bumper. That was a little faster than I expected. I thought he would take another lap to do it. But he is there, 4/10 back now. All over the back end of Vlad. But we've seen a couple of times here, catching is one thing. And passing is in completely different species.
Oh, getting close. Look at that exit speed.
Yeah, the Audi is getting the better of him out of the corners, but he is catching into the corners pretty considerably. And this is the area of the track where things open up and allow you to possibly go for an overtake. He's too far back now, I think. 0.8 of a second is a bit too much. Mind you know what? Orlando Telhero did do 0.8 of a second. Mind you, he did it in a robust, very physical manner. But we'll see if he can make it happen.
I like how polite you are. Robust and physical, man.
Robusto.
Let's see if we can catch a bit of draft here.
I'll leave it to my attaché Stewart to be the mean one. Jack gets to be bad cop. I get to be good cop. That's how that works.
As long as you tag your shit correctly, you dumb fucks.
Well, that's why he's the bad cop.
So there's a new thing on YouTube where we have to tag our videos if they're appropriate for children or not.
Fuck you.
They're not.
Fuck them kids.
They're not.
Yeah,
In
so
the
everything
words
that has
of,
commentary, I gotta say no.
In the words of, I believe it was Dave Chappelle, fuck them kids.
All right, random trivia question for you, Byron.
Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck this up.
Oh, boy.
Probably. What is, or who was the first former UFC fighter to compete on The Ultimate Fighter?
Oh, the first former UFC fighter. This is something I really should know because he was on a season I was actually paying attention to.
He was, and he's a fighter that you do love.
I'm gonna balls this up and it's gonna be bad.
Is it Butterbean?
Also, the fuck damn kids is or the origin was actually Michael Jordan, not.
One of the Porsches heading into the pits there. Just a sidetrack. I believe that was
Eduardo
into the pit lane with a highly damaged Porsche. And I'm even giving you almost a hand here because there are two answers to this question because they fought each other. Ah!
Ho 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 ho. I want to say Cole Miller was the first current UFC fighter that was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Incorrect.
Because Cole Miller had beat Jens Pulver already.
Although I completely forgot about that season. You got the season right, but not the fighter right. Oh.
I'm not gonna put that together. I'm sorry.
There were two guys on that season. Actually, I was wrong. Like you've actually stumped me because I completely was thinking.
Fuck you. Reverse card.
I was thinking it was the comeback season, but you could be right that it was Joe Lozon and Gabe Rudiger in season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter.
Lozon, not Miller. Fuck, what was I thinking? They're skinny white kids, whatever. It's big ears versus whatever.
Cole Miller was on that season though. I'm just double checking now.
Please do so. I don't think he fought.
No, I was right. Season 4 of The Ultimate Fighter was the comeback. They were all UFC veterans.
Yeah.
And the answer, based on order of competition, would you care to take a guess?
Not at this point.
Two of your favorite fighters, Mr. International Shomi Carter fought Rich No Love Clementi.
Fuck.
In the first ever fight between two UFC vets on The Ultimate Fighter.
Very nice.
I was fucking with myself. Although you were almost correct. One season later, you did get Joe Lozon and Gabe Rudiger, who were UFC
Your Honor,
vets.
I was misled based on whiskey. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by 100-volt Canadian rye whiskey. Because it looked really hilarious on the shelf, and I bought it, and it's not bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad.
All right, who was the first Canadian to ever be on The Ultimate Fighter?
Well, that's easy. That's the karate guy who broke his hand on the dude. No, I'm just kidding.
It's also the first guy eliminated from The Ultimate Fighter, so we have a solid start to Canadian martial arts history right there.
Oh, it's not Hands of Stone, is it?
It is not Hands of Stone.
Is it Fuckboy McChokehold?
You're thinking of Jason McDonald.
I am.
It is not Jason McDonald, but you did get the first name correct.
Ooh.
It was.
Shit. How many Jasons are there?
It was the first man to ever get eliminated from The Ultimate Fighter. He did not get to fight. Randy Couture told him he was the weakest link. Goodbye. Jason Strange Brew Thacker.
Oh, Jesus. Thacker. Fuck me. Yikes.
Also the first guy in Ultimate Fighter history to get his bed pissed on.
First guy?
It was season 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You know what? To be honest, to this day, never watched season 1. Never seen the Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner fight. Never seen any of that.
That fight is really, really good.
I've not seen a single instant of that wasn't a highlight that they immediately cut off in order to tantalize you, and I immediately didn't give a shit because I'm not buying into that horse crap. I could download it not legally. I suppose.
I have it on DVD because that seems fair. My mom, in one of her few MMA encouraging habits, bought me the box set of The Ultimate Fighter Season 1.
I have a few box sets of The Pride. And I do have one season of Ultimate Fighter. I think it's the one with Bisping.
Whoa!
Damn!
Stephen Cross almost got to the back end of Vlad. I don't even think he didn't shut the door. I think Stephen just got on the brakes real late.
Shut the door.
He's been getting real close to that bumper.
All right, can he pull the gap? Problem is he's backed to about 1 second because of that mistake, and he just can't make that up in the area that it matters.
There's only 3 minutes.
You talking about his dick?
3 minutes 40 left now.
So he's got 2 laps probably to get this done. Orlando Telhero is up on the back of Leo Barcelos. I suspect he will get through because we've seen Barcelos has not really been making a fight of this.
Yeah.
Probably because it appears he can't hold his car in a straight line, to be honest.
Whoa.
No, he's not drunk, Byron. He's got damage.
You know, well, here's the thing, though. I mean that with all the respect and kudos in the world. You're in 7th place at Macau in a field of killers, and your car can't go straight. Like, that's impressive.
It's not the field that is killer, it's the track.
Well, that's the thing. It's a murderous track and a field of killers. Like, and you're in 7th place. And you've been damaged pretty much the whole race. Like, that's impressive.
He's doing pretty good. Oh!
As he went a little two-wheeler there for a second.
Uh-oh.
So he is in trouble because, well, I mean, it depends on his goal. Like, we've seen him let other people by, so when I say trouble, I mean...
Oh, well...
Normally I'd consider this trouble, but I think he'll probably just let Telhero by.
Well, that spot up there is pretty dangerous. Can lose the car easily, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Holding for now, hasn't made to let Telhero through. Might try and hold him, because, I mean, we got 2 minutes and change left, which probably means just one more lap after this. So there is a chance he might try and hold it. Maybe 2. The gap is pretty large there at the front. Stephen Cross up on the tail of Vlad Tatara. Battle for 5th place. Stephen, keep it cool, man. Don't overcook it through this section. This section does not matter. Just stay close. Get to the fat bit and go for it. There is Telhero. Oh! Barcelos is fighting this time.
Oh my!
But I don't think it matters as to Telhero bullies his way past.
Solid.
And Paul Riccobeni's been threatening to get past Alvar Gomez Cuesta for a while, but just can't seem to get close enough where it matters. There's Gomez trying to break the toe. Wondering who that car up ahead of them is, but I believe it is a blue flagged back marker if they do get there.
Giggity.
Yeah, it's definitely not Vega.
Riccobeni looking for the move. Not going to be anything here.
Ooh,
oh, maybe.
There it is.
He's not through. Yeah, there he is. There it is.
Well done.
Paul Riccobeni, double ESR podium if he can hold it.
Ooh.
Unos
That was an
dos
attempt right
tres.
there.
Alvar Gomez Cuesta is an aggressive driver. I can say this from experience. Not saying that is a bad thing in any way, but if you give him an opening, he sniffs it. And he will go for it.
El Grande Queso gonna melt your ass.
El Explosivo.
See.
So Paul Riccobeni's got to be on his top game here for the last bit. And we'll see if Stephen Cross can make something happen here against Vlad Tatar. It's Corvette versus Audi for 3rd place, and it's Corvette versus Audi for 5th. Although it's a different Corvette in this case. It's C7 versus Z06. But
Correct.
We'll see if they can get the job done. Checkered flag is out, which means Mike Stockmill is your winner. Not that we've really been talking about him for a while now.
I mean, he's 98,000 seconds ahead in front, so I mean, it's fine.
Stephen Cross looking to make the move, looking to get around. Alvar Gomez Cuesta, I think, has lost out on his bid for a podium. As they come to the finish line, it looks like it's going to be Ricardo, Paul, Rick. Oh,
What?
That's
Go,
a little
Paul.
dirty.
He's waiting, though.
It looks like he is waiting, so it does look like Riccobeni's going to get that podium.
Or
Steven.
not. Oh,
Oh.
my God.
Lord have mercy.
Or Stephen Cross can get the podium out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, my God. And he gave it back to Paul. All right.
Paul gets 4th place. Alvar Gomez Cuesta, Vlad
Well done,
Tatara
Alvar.
in 6th place. 7th is going to go to Orlando Telejero, followed by Leo Barcelos, Roman Barthez, and then the matching cars here of Jose Maria Torres. Actually, it's Roman Barthez and Torres who have the same car there. And then Simeon Naku bringing it home in 12th or 11th position with a very beat-up car there, sans a headlight.
Well, worth noting that ESR is 1, 2, 3, 4 representative of ESR.
Is Vega racing on our back?
Yeah, he's racing for ESR.
Oh, there you go. Top 4 go to ESR with 11th place from Simeon Naku.
I mean, Carril has been on and off with ESR. He's done a few races here and there, but in the Intercontinental Series, he's been racing.
Yeah,
with
but
us.
like so is Leo Barcelos and Alvar Gomez Cuesta.
Yeah,
Yet
but they're not representing us. That's right. Well, that was
Shout
a
out to
very
Paul
interesting
Bericoveni,
race.
who got screwed.
I mean,
and shout out to Alvar for being a gentleman at the end there. Well
100%.
done.
I think that's maybe what gave Steven the podium for sure.
Yes.
Steven, you're a dick. How dare you, sir?
Stephen Cross started the last lap in 6th place. He finished in 3rd. How is
Correct.
that for overtakes at Macau? So that is all for Macau in the Intercontinental GT3 Series. Gentlemen, do you have any final thoughts you want to leave the people with?
I really enjoy this track and find it to be technically superior over everything known to humankind, including Rainbow Road.
Oh, don't talk shit about Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road can eat my chode.
Carnage.
And Martin, do you have anything final to add?
Nope, nothing to add. That was an interesting race for sure.
Alrighty, YouTube is recommending that I watch something to do with Helena Bonham Carter, which I'm not going to do. And
Intriguing.
Yeah.